everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Candlestick, and today I am going to be playing two characters. I am going to be playing Cassie Trebleclef and Crystal Everlight, my boneheaded sisters who are finally going to reconcile. And here to help me and help them to hopefully make things go smoothly is...
Hi, I'm Authenticity. Today I will be playing a parent. More specifically, the takeoff chicken. Who really needs to cut down on the stressors in their life. And what better to start with than this?
Yep. Yep. It's like parent all
Sort
the time.
it out.
I love them so much.
Thanks. Gosh.
Anyway, so yeah, a little while back, T.O.C met both, Crystal and Cassie separately and, told them that they'd met their sister, and also told them, after figuring out that there was something going on between the two of them, and then finding out more, that, they were willing to help them, reconcile, and yeah, it's taken a little bit, but Cassie has finally approached T.O.C about doing this.
Yeah, so we've made one preliminary roll to sort to decide how much sort of tact the chicken is going to have in choosing a location, and they got a natural 1 minus 1, which is a 0.
Yep.
And this is why the sisters find themselves in a Waffle House.
Yep, it is very awkward. I am going to roll a thing and to see how the sisters are doing right now. So
Please.
give me a moment. Okay. Right. Well, both of those are actually not too bad. So while Author has disappeared into the void, um, welcome back. You're good. Yeah, both of them are holding things together pretty well right now, surprisingly.
Great. This is to be encouraged. It's honestly, I feel like T.O.C, who's already regretting their life choices, probably got there early enough that they could meet both sisters there.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Oh, I think Cassie got there first. And then Crystal. I'm gonna say, for fun that, Eeny, Miny, and Mo dropped Crystal off, and that's maybe why she's late. Yeah.
She was getting ready.
she,
Clash trying to escape.
yeah, this is like, they were there for moral support. Don't know if Crystal asked them to be moral support or they took it on themselves, but, yes.
Mm.
They definitely got her to the diner, eventually.
Yeah. I would love the sequence of like Eeny, Miny, and Mo like Neum into the diner, drop her very gently in a crumpled heap of crystal within the door, and go beep beep, and sort of like Roadrunner dash their way away.
Yeah. Something like that. So yeah, I guess, I should probably make a perception check for Crystal then to see if she's found you guys. Yeah, no, I think she does spot you both. Is T.O.C doing anything in particular to like make make them obvious or, over here?
Well, they're not a settled person in general, so I think they're just sort of they're keeping an eye out for her. Like they're not hiding. It's most of their attention is probably on checking in with Cassie and sort of like distracting her while they wait.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's um y'all have those little like activity pages they give little kids in restaurants.
Yep.
Um
Uh,
it's they have cracked into the crayons and they seem to be doing something. But they look up and they give her a very sort of a formal sort of nod and they sign.
hmm.
I'm glad you made it.
Nice. That was the other thing I needed to roll for Cassie is that she is still learning sign, so let's see how well she's doing with it today. I think that'll be a straight intelligence.
Hmm. They do have their notebook open. They might be drawing in it with the crayons.
Oh, well,
Oh, but she doesn't need it.
yeah, she's doing pretty well today. I think, yeah, she's pretty focused. She's yeah. She's rolling well today. I think yeah, I think TOC you sort of get like she seems to be still as polite and like smiley as you when you first met her, but there's also a sort of definite set of like determination and resolution in her expression.
Mm,
Um
TFC steadily approves.
Crystal, on the other hand, is probably looking more hesitant than you've seen her before for someone who is usually so confident as she approaches. Hmm. And I
Hmm.
completely forgot what you signed.
Well, just sort of like they gave her sort of a semi-formal greeting because this is Crystal and they sense that she might be a little bit more comfortable with that.
Hmm.
And they were just basically like, I'm glad that you could make it.
Yeah. I think Crystal, probably because it's a little bit far away as she's moving towards you, does sign back a thank you. Thank you for organizing this. And yeah, comes and sits down. Yep. Ah, yep. So now you have both sisters sitting
Hmm.
in the booth.
Can they roll insight checks to see how they're doing?
Yeah, go for it.
No, whoops, I nearly put the essay in. That would not have been good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, an 11 and a nat 20. Uh,
Who's
I I
who?
will let you. I'll let you decide. Actually,
Oh, okay, okay. Um, hmm. I'll say the first one is for Cassie and the second one is for Crystal actually. Because T.O.C has actually spent a little bit more time around Crystal than Cassie. And right now, Cassie is being a lot harder to read than Crystal is. Um,
mm,
yeah, like I said, Cassie is um generally seems pretty similar to the last time you met her, but there's just that little bit more stiffness there, but you can't actually get a read on anything past that.
mm,
Whereas Crystal, you can tell that she's actually very nervous right now and very like Oh, she really wants this to go well.
Mm, baby.
Mm. Hmm. Um, actually, and that was the other thing. Uh, yeah, Crystal has something with her when she arrives, and she passes over a small bag of what look like chocolates uh to Cassie, and with a I made you them. Like she's having trouble getting words out. But you're welcome to roll an investigation check on the chocolates if you would like. And I'm going to do the same for Cassie.
All right, investigation is. I love their investigation. 14, not so bad.
Oh, oh, Cassie dear, you got a 4. Hmm.
Oh no. Could they be poison?
No, that wasn't. um, that that okay. Um, uh, how much has T.O.C heard of like the cultures and uh traditions and stuff? In particular, Crunkle and Evershore traditions.
Um, Probably not a lot personally. They've been doing a lot of research into um sort of antiquated religions and the things people study that are a little bit older. So there might be something in there sort of vaguely about the god Crunkle and the Evershore Isles.
Hmm.
But I mean, they're a chicken, and they have lived a very chicken lifestyle for the majority of their life. It's really only the last few months that they would have started accumulating knowledge.
Hmm. That
I mean,
that's
outside of their own little sphere.
that's fair. Okay. You probably get enough with that investigation. I'm say you'd get enough to know that those chocolates look handmade, and they look a little bit different. Like there's uh, 3 of them, and they all look sort of slightly different. But you can't quite tell what like the specifics of it. But you also you recognize from the design of them and a brief couple of things that you've seen that there is a tradition from Evershore and particularly Crunkle followers about uh, gifting chocolates that have different meanings behind them. But
Hmm.
yeah, you don't know enough to like it was only something briefly you saw, then you don't know enough to be able to pass any sort of meaning out of the chocolates. Like what they mean, just that they are supposed to mean something.
And I think with an 11, is it relatively apparent that Cassie has not picked up on these?
Um Cassie, there is a look of familiarity that she's aware of what they're supposed to be, but she is sort of like put them away before like she's not looking in like she's actively not looking into what they are.
Hmm. I think Casey is going to go. What do those mean, Crystal?
Oh, uh, well, um, unfortunately, there's not a It's not a specific type that means I'm sorry, but it's and hold on one moment while I grab up my notes. Uh, they're
Let me tell you.
they're dark chocolate, which is a familial bond. And the fillings are almond, cinnamon, and meringue, which means. And I didn't put the meanings down here, so I gotta go to a different document.
I gently pet you. World building be like that sometimes.
um, Almonds mean I appreciate your creativity. Um, Cinnamon means I miss you. And meringue means I would do anything for you. And then, yeah, she sort of trails off and looks down. Mm. Cassie still hasn't said anything.
Mm. Well, I'm not going to let you eat candies before you have a good meal, so why don't you take a look at the menu? And they slide over a Waffle House menu to her.
uh, there's a
Um,
bit of a jump in it. Thanks.
I think we have sort of this quiet, horrible moment of everyone just sort of staring at their menus.
Yep.
Tuesday's just like, why am I here?
It,
Like, it's charisma is my numbstat.
it's so awkward as hell. Because the only one who has charisma is not trying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Shall we say that they order like the silence is broken by the overly cheerful "Hi, welcome to the Waffle House. What can I get you?"
Absolutely. Um, it T.O.C has put in uh a gentle request that no one get chicken products
Mm,
without warning them first. Eggs are fine, but no meat.
yeah, that's fair. I think Cassie has definitely ordered waffles. I don't know what Crystal eats for breakfast, so she's not a. I think she's probably just gone for the waffles too because she's just like all right, just go with the first thing on the menu.
Mm. T.O.C is going to order kale waffles
Oh, yeah, that sounds nice.
because I like to imagine like it's um underneath the inscription it's no not waffles made of kale and waffles. And yes, there's syrup.
Oh god, how many times has T.O.C done this?
That's for you to know and for everyone else to obsess over.
Ah.
Anyways, um,
Hmm.
yeah, honestly, it's TUC's just like these girls are punishing themselves.
Mm.
It's the longer this goes on, the worse they're gonna feel.
Yeah, yeah. Does T.O.C do anything?
Um, I think that like in their little chicken brain, a timer has started. Taking down, probably circa 5 minutes until they lose their temper and they're just like, okay. Um, it's up to you if anything happens in that 5 minutes, or if uh, T.O.C is just going to be like, okay, whippersnappers.
Oh, like I do have an idea, but I also kind of want to see T.O.C lose their temper. So yeah, we'll say there's another awkward 5 minutes as Cassie's actually not breaking like eye contact at all, like she's staring ahead, and Crystal's the one who's sort of like shuffling things on the table and not looking and like keeps opening her mouth and then closing it and yeah.
Babies. God, I'm just someone save these dumbass children.
Yeah.
I think eventually, like T.O.C is sort of watching this like a tennis match, and eventually they will put down their menu with a slap. They will flutter up onto the table so that they can break eye contact, and they will go, "Okay, this has gone. Oh, this has gone on far enough. This is ridiculous, and I know for a fact you're both better than this."
Oh, I love them so much. You definitely get two looks away. You like down at the table at that.
Mm.
Um,
I think they go over to the salt shaker and the pepper and stuff, uh, and they take out one of those little sugar packets for your coffee, and they go, "This is this is the talking sugar. If you have the talking sugar, you have to say one thing before you pass someone else's the talking sugar.
God, I love this so much.
You cannot interrupt the person with the talking sugar. Does everyone understand?"
There's two nods.
Hmm.
Yep. Who do you pass the talking sugar to?
Cassie.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. Cassie looks a little bit surprised. You, I think that 11 was enough. You definitely got that she wanted, um, Crystal to go first, but, all right, this is happening, and yep. T.O.C is the mediator. I guess she's got to suck it up and start. And she sighs and like her hands are like clenching in and out around the sugar and I'm still angry at you. I it hurt so much that you made me choose between my dream and you. And all this time I felt like a bad person. Like like a bad sister. Like I'm being selfish and I'm not. I know I'm not. But I still feel that way. Why didn't you reach out to me? She will pass the sugar across the table to Crystal.
I'm so sorry that I'm making you talk to yourself.
No, it's
It's
okay. It's okay. I knew this was gonna happen. Um, Chris takes up the the packet of sugar and kind of a little bit hesitantly, and then I'm sorry, Cassie. I didn't mean what I said. I never should have said it. I was just so scared at the idea of you leaving or something potentially happening to you. I thought maybe if I threatened that you wouldn't go, that you would stay safe, but I was wrong. I just made it worse. And at first I was too angry. I felt like I was right. And I was so mad at you too that you'd left. Then by the time that I didn't, I I I didn't know what to say. I I didn't know how to reach you. I didn't know where to start. I should have tried harder to contact you, but it was just easier for me to throw myself into my work and not think about it. And like like Cassie still looks like um how to describe it, like there's a slight softening, but there is still this, like, she is holding back. She is still angry. She's still, like, she needs to hold this. She needs to push this point because she has to. Like, this is, she's not going to just let things be swept under the rug anymore. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, she, like, um, like, you can see that, like, uh, the blinking back tears a little bit with the, even when I was here in Toontown and you were too, I wrote you so many letters every day, and you never responded to any of them. You didn't even come see me perform, Chris. I finally got to dance in front of an audience, to be part of a professional production, and despite all of the people who came to support me, it still hurt because you weren't there. You were my first supporter. Sure, Mum and Dad supported me too, and I got my love of music and dance from them. But you were the one who found me my classes. You were the one who took me to and from them. You're the reason I became a dancer, and you weren't there. Why? And I'm gonna roll another wisdom.
A 12.
Yep. Okay. Um, there are definitely a few, like, tears escaping, but, like, she's rubbing at her eyes, and, like, her expression is still hard. Like, she's holding herself together. She has to hold herself together. And uh,
It's like, oh, sorry.
no, keep going, keep going.
I think Casey just like reaches over and pranes a little bit of her hair, just a very quick motion, because if she needs to be strong, then they know that sometimes too much softness can fuck with that, but
Mm,
I want her to know that she's not alone either.
mm. Yeah, she appreciates it. Like, you could sort of feel, like, a little bit of that tension, sort of, and the hitching of her breath, sort of, like, soften. Like, not, they're not as sharp. They kind of it gets under control a little bit with the assurance, and yeah, and across from her, like, Chris looks pretty devastated. um
Mm. They'll hop over to Crystal, and they're not like they don't turn to face Cassie, but they do sort of like they settle on her side of the table and sort of to the side of her vision and just give her sort of this calm, comforting look. Like it's they know how hard it is. They know, but it has to happen.
mm-hmm.
And they remember this roadblock before the whys and wherefores.
Yeah, yeah. uh yeah, and like, you can you can sort of see that there's a lot of things going through Crystal's mind right now, but there are both things you you know and don't know, um, coming into play in this. But it, yeah, like there's a few moments of silence before, with the, like, Crystal takes another deep breath, and I know. I'm sorry, Cassie. It it's my fault. If if I hadn't started that argument, if I hadn't reached out sooner, this wouldn't have happened. But I swear to you, I would have come if I'd known. And Cassie blinks and what what do you mean? I I never got any of your letters, Cassie. What, none of them? And Crystal shakes her head. But I don't understand. I know you moved for your job. That's why I sent paper airplanes. You didn't get any of them? No, I don't know why. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but ah, I I didn't get any of them. I promise you. I never would have. I never would have put that you through that if I had known. Please, you have to believe me on that. And I am going to roll Cassian Insight. Yep, 17. That's pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell, she can tell that her sister is telling the truth. And that's, like, again, like, there's still pain, there's still anger, there's still so much hurt there, but all of, like, all of that is kind of, it's enough to finally soften her resolve, and for her to be willing to accept her sister's apology of, okay. And um and she's, yeah, finally sort of like letting herself feel, and let the tears fall a bit more, and um okay. I Yeah, I believe you. I've really missed you, Chris. I've missed you so much. I I've missed you too, Cassie. I. And I'm so sorry. I know. I know. And yeah, with that, I think Cassie's sort of like sliding out of the seat, and the next moment, Crystal does have an arms full of her sister, just crying into her.
Mm.
And I'm gonna make them both with saves again.
Oh, I think T.O.C. like takes up a post at the edge of the table. Like someone walks by and they're like, "Keep walking."
Oh my god.
Oh boy,
Ah, that's a nat 1 followed by a nat 20.
that's the thing, huh?
Oh, yep, okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was enough. Cassie's just absolutely bawling her eyes out as she clutches at her sister, and Crystal is holding herself together because she needs to. Her sister needs her right now, and she can grieve and feel sorry about everything that she did and everything she missed and everything she did wrong later, but right now her sister needs her. And yeah.
Gosh. Someone walks by the table and T.O.C. just gives them a death stare until they, keep walking. Like it's nothing to see here. Go
Yeah.
back to business.
Mm. Um, and yeah, it probably does take a while, but eventually I think Cassie pulls herself together, and so what now? And Crystal also looks a little lost, like, yeah, she she didn't think she'd get this far. She'd be honest. Um
Well, from the sound of it, it sounds like you have some mail fraud to track down.
uh,
That is seriously worrying.
mhm. Yeah, like uh Cassie just looks kind of puzzled, like, what? But Crystal does look more like, yes, I am taking this very seriously. I am going to get to the bottom of this.
Mm,
Mm. But
yeah.
yeah, I think she will sigh, and I guess now we take it one step at a time. I'm I'm still not I'm still not happy that you're exploring, but I've had a little bit of sense knocked into me by a few people that I I cannot and should not stop you. It, this is if this is what you want, I will support you. That's
T.O.C. looks visibly proud.
that's all I've ever wanted, Chris. I, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm I'm sorry that my own my own fears and worries. I get it. I know. I know it was I know it was hard for you. It was hard for me too, Chris. At some point, you gotta let it go. Maybe. We'll see. I maybe one day I can. But for now I'm trying. And that's enough. Okay. We can work with that.
All right, apparently T.O.C is taking up the fine sport of poking bears. Yeah, I mean, like, it's between the comments that uh Crystal has made in the past and the fact that someone is fucking around with one of their male,
Mm.
someone is gunning for one or both of these sisters.
Alright. So,
And they do not jive with that. And they, I think they're sort of moodily playing with a crayon. Um, and they go, Crystal,
yes.
you, you have to know I don't ask this lightly.
And she looks more serious and gives you a nod.
You, I suspect that you can't tell me why you were so against your sister leaving for a very important reason, right?
And another slower nod. Uh, Cassie's looking very confused right now. Like, what?
Mm, okay. Do you know who?
Now both of them are looking at you confused.
Mm, I mean, that's something.
Uh, and and then Crystal's like, "Oh, you think the male has something to do with? Oh, no, no, that's not possible. It wouldn't make any sense. Oh, Arthur, you disappeared into the void again.
For a split second, sorry, the last thing I heard was, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, that I think that was all I said.
Yeah, just, first, sorry about that again. But also, DAC is like, well, it's hard to prepare for something that we know nothing about. And I have to say it's a little infuriating to know nothing. Especially because this isn't even my secret, it's yours. And I'm not asking you to do what you can't. I'm not asking you to give more than you ought. But I do need to know what I need to hit.
And Cassie's just looking between you two like, what? What is going on? Just, Chris, what is she talking about? And Chris sighs and, like, rubs at her eyes and it. Mm, uh, uh, how do I, I, I told T.O.C. that I didn't want you to leave because of what happened to Mum. And, uh, but I didn't go into specifics about it. And,
That's new information for T.O.C, isn't it?
uh, sort of. Yeah, like she's not being. Uh, it is sort of new information to CSE. Like she's not lying, but she's also not being truthful.
Mm, yeah, they're familiar. They just kind of go, well, it if that is unconnected to this, then that's wonderful news. Fantastic. I am jumping for joy. However, that doesn't change the fact that mail doesn't just evaporate. It doesn't compost in the fucking mailbox. Like,
Yeah, yeah, no,
the reason.
sorry, I'm just thinking about, there might be a slight chance that Eenie, Mighty, and Mo got to it, but no, that's not the case, and this has been happening much longer than since she's known them, so.
They thought of that. But they're good at eating, but they're not that good at eating.
Yeah.
But they're just I think they go part of why I dragged you out here to a Waffle House of all places was because call me paranoid, but I have an inkling that you two will need each other very soon. You will need to be on the same side.
Uh,
But you will never be alone. And so, I would rather deal with this mail problem sooner rather than later.
yeah, I... No, you're right, but I don't know what to tell you, I, 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 I don't know why someone was stopping the mail. I... What happened to Mum was a freak accident. There's...
Oh no. They look even grimmer. Because freak accidents are rarely freak accidents.
Mm.
I hand these girls a paranoid parent.
Yeah, look, Crystal looks just as frustrated, like, she has spent a lot of her life looking into this. She has not found anything yet, so, you know, she is just as frustrated, and Cassie is still perplexed, like, what is going on right now? Like, you seem really concerned and that's making me concerned, but I have no idea what is going on right now.
Mm. They, I think they reach over and they ruffle her hair like it's. Sorry. I don't mean to be confusing. I don't mean to talk over your head.
No.
I am very confused and I'm dealing with it out loud. And I don't think there's many. well, too many answers to be had at this table.
Um, yeah, like Cassie just kind of shrugs. It's okay. I'm glad you're at least talking to us about it. It's not something I'm used to, and you can definitely see Crystal wince at that.
A, if you want to jab, I'll go outside and I'll find you some knives.
um, I will say Cassie had said that like completely honestly. She did not notice Crystal's wince. So
Mm,
yeah, it's like we wouldn't be able to use knives anyway. Um, would hurt. Um, why?
they look at the plastic ones on the table.
Ah, right. Well, plastic would work fine. Not sure why I'd want to stab my sister though.
I assume most people want to stab sisters. I wanted to stab most of my sisters.
Cassie's Cassie's going to like doing that sort of like surprise. What? Oh, tell me more. I am curious, but like Crystal just mumbles. That's nice to know.
They do a shrug. Listen, while their sisters were alive, they were sisters. Siblings are siblings.
Siblings are siblings. Yep. Do you have any suggestions or thoughts about this?
The mail system in Einquell is, I'm pretty sure, made of dark magic. You would need influence of one kind or another to stop it, or you'd need to be close to one of you. Or both.
Uh, um, Crystal, looks at her sister as like, well, uh, you know me well enough to know that there's not all that many people close to me. Cassie does snort, a little bit. There's a cheeky grin like, yeah. Look, I love you, but you are not a people person. And, um, I mean, I suppose,
THC, just, sorry, you go on.
just I suppose there's some professional people that are close to me, but even that changes from time to time.
THC is rubbing their forehead like they have a headache, and they're just, Crystal, being vast, being widely disliked is not a boon here. I consider enemies also very close. You've met one of my favorites.
Cassie is just sort of sniggering into her into the table right now like yep, yep, she's enjoying this far too much.
mm, they bat her on the head with a wing.
Crystal does look like affronted as like hand gestures. I don't know. I it's not unlikely for to me have to have made enemies, but who they not are. You think Crystal pays attention to who she pisses off?
I mean, God, I I love Crystal so goddamn much. She's a bitch, and I like her so much. God, but I think T.O.C will sigh. They will go, again, this is not going to be a productive conversation until we get more info. Which is why you two need to not only forgive each other, but get along. We've got one half of that equation settled. The next is going to take time. And in the meantime, you both need to be careful. Because if someone's been keeping you from having contact with each other, and you're having prolonged contact with each other, then things are going to start to move.
Yeah.
This is a catalyst.
Yeah. Um, Crystal has had enough peripheral experience with people involved in the plot to know that this is the case. Um, and Cassie respects you, so you get to like nods. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just... One, yes, that seems logical. Two, I trust you, okay.
Like that's them in a nutshell.
God, I love both of them. Just, man. But yeah, I think now is probably the moment the waffles come. Like, sort of T.O.C's issuing Portents of Doom. Also, here's some maple syrup.
Yeah, just the you guys need to look at to be careful, followed by Tunk, here's your waffles, right in between them.
Exactly. I'm sorry, just the voice.
uh, uh, yeah, I think Cassie's waffles. Yeah, and like uh, Cassie's not stupid. She gets what like there is still a lot going over her head, but she's getting the gist of what's going on and stuff, but also you can't dwell on that like you can't just dwell on that all the time. You just gotta be responsible. But Crystal is picking at her food with a very uh thoughtful and like her brows are furrowed like she is deep in thought and she is like ticking through options and stuff in her mind. You can see that.
Mm, yeah, they, um, I think they do, like, they hop over, holding a piece of kale that has been doused in maple syrup. And they gently wave to get her attention and they go, we can talk later. There is time later. Today is a privilege. Today you get to see your sister again. Do not waste it thinking about being other places.
Thank you for everything.
They take a bite of their kale.
uh, you may notice Cassie scrunches up her nose at you eating the kale with maple syrup, like, ugh. But Crystal seems pretty unfazed by it. There's just a don't judge,
Mm.
then sticking the tongue out from Cassie. Hey, things are not completely fixed, but they're starting to fall back into a familiar pattern, familiar relationship.
Mm. Yeah, it's honestly this went better than T.O.C expected. They are they are very proud of both of their girls.
Aw.
Just
author has been swallowed by the void again. Welcome back.
Man alive, what was the last thing you heard?
T.O.C is very proud of their girls.
God, this has gone better than T.O.C expected. They're not inclined to poke anything. They're going to make sure that today ends with a hug. They're going to make sure that they have better ways of contacting each other than the fucking post. And they're going to add yet another, like it's at the back of their notebook, they have a running tally of people who are actively in danger.
Oh, T.O.C, I love you so much.
They're so stressed. They're so stressed. But yeah, they'll make sure that both of these bright, brilliant young women know that they did really well today.
No. Yeah. And that they will beat up anyone who tries to come after them at this point, because that's the problem that they are good at solving.
Yeah, they have a horrible suspicion that this is not a problem they can punch better, and they're so just ugh. Anyways.
But that feels like a good place to leave off.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening, folks.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy right now.
Yay!
They've reunited.
Thank you so much for letting me help out with this. This was really fun.
And thank you so much for indulging me in my characters and my lore and my plot. Thank you
Yeah,
so
always.
much.
Goodbye, folks.
Bye.